one is alive, everybody. The dropship is ready. It's a new season of the Apex Legends Global Series here in North America.
As now TSM are going to make that rotation around and out of zone that you were talking of, but there are teams in this area, so you really need to have a game plan here.
Yeah, they do, and there's going to be multiple teams inside of the buildings. The thing is, though, if they can land and they can reset, there's an opportunity for them to fight for one of these spots, right? We mentioned how FaZe were inside of one of those buildings. PLP, I believe, were inside of one of the buildings as well, and they didn't look too strong when it came to armor, so TSM can reset here.
And they weren't really equipped to take a straight fight, but speaking of fights, Native Gaming, they've lost one. PLP getting aggressive and doing the damage here.
Yeah, PLP, a team I'm pretty excited about this season. I think there's a lot of potential in this lineup, not just fighting-wise, but some of the positions they put themselves in. And this is going to be the tunnel, which kind of forces its way into the wall. A lot of work has to be done to get through here. You can see a lot of teams are already in the vicinity. Native Gaming will be one of the ones to not come out of this victorious, as it looks like PLP and the aggression they're showing is starting to pay off. But they do have an opportunity here with Oxygen wrapping through the zone to find themselves some KP first.
Yeah, Oxygen walking into that LG gatekeeping situation that they put themselves in so long ago, holding out anyone that would be arriving from the likes of Lightning and Zeus. And Oxygen is just doing what they can to stay alive at the moment. Ult's going to be thrown out. Black Hole will go down, but it's Aiden against the world.
This is very, very bad. Aiden, you're a great player. But unfortunately, this is going to be the end of the game for Oxygen. Sweet's going to swing out on this one and surely just finish off this damage, you would imagine. Although it's going to be very, very careful here, Sweet. And careful he is.
There is more players on the horizon. Skirt are arriving.
Skirt here. Skirt looking to do damage. Look at those shots coming in from Albarelli as well with the Volt. The M&K show, and it still gets it done in 2024. Scurry trying to back it up, and a couple of smokes are going to go down as well. Arkstar's trying to follow up. Only 16 seconds until that zone closes, and Albarelli is on his back. This fight is going back and forth at the moment. There's no clear victor as Scurry now tries to move in to finish off some of the damage being done. GKS eliminated, and it's Skirt who will stay alive.
So there's plenty of teams trying to force themselves into zone right now, one of them being DarkZero having a scrap.
DarkZero going to swing, and DarkZero going to take down Temper. Great shots coming in from Zero, and Sykes alongside Jim Burton is terrifying enough, and if they're being directed in a way that Zero has shown he can.
All these Western teams trying to scuffle with one another, all the meanwhile TSM have escaped and have found positioning.
TSM just managed to get ahead of the traffic here. 8 Gan eliminated. You can also see Elevate have gone down, so 6 squads now remaining. And we have Oblivion, DarkZero, Complexity, LG, Skirt, and TSM who are involved in our final fights. We certainly have. Should be able to reset here. Nobody else is really thinking about pushing this because TSM and DarkZero are so close to each other. And Verholz, he gets a horrible surprise, and now you're going to have to rely on reps to come in and clean up this damage. 2 players overlooked this, and DarkZero just ratted away and managed to get 2 kills themselves. Reps has to clutch now, and clutches for TSM. DarkZero eliminated, but now the 3P comes in. TSM eliminated, and it's Complexity who started all that kerfuffle who ended as LG make their move. A lot of questions about this roster, and only questions that can be answered after a few weeks of gameplay, after a few lands maybe for these 3 players. Has Sweet made the right decision? Are these the 2 players to push LG and Sweet Dreams back to success? We'll have to find out, but in game number 1 down, they're in a fantastic position.
Well, LG just need to be careful. Oblivion, if they get eyes on, which they do, and now Oblivion join the likes of Skirt and absolutely shred through LG. The Dark Veil goes down to try and keep them alive, but Sweet's just taken too much damage. Skirt are also losing players, and it's still Oblivion on top. But Complexity as a 2 still have an opportunity here, Mark.
LG eliminated, and now you can see Skirt down to 1 player. Scurry's going to pop that back, but he will be done and dusted. And now we have a 2v3, I believe, to see if Complexity can pull something out of the bag here. It's Lua Monsoon against Oblivion, and Oblivion should be able to get this done. The damage is there. They've held the God spot, and now they have the #1 spot as well. Just clean up the damage, boys, and you can call yourself champions.
As we transition over to another part of the map, a huge fight still engaging. We've got Zeratricky as well, the new FaZe squad. Snipe down has fallen down. Pander's still alive with the conduit Q, and that's going to be a revive for FaZe, and Temper will go down as our first team eliminated in game 2.
We speak of another contest that's happening over towards Northpad. It's Eternal going down at the moment. Only 2 players that are alive, but Carter trying to get this res off.
So valuable to have the conduit Q already ticking up. Did not have to hit 2 shield cells, which would have taken a ton of time. Could have obviously gone for the heal, decided not to, and it's going to play around The knockdown shields, the horizon, gravity lift, not going to do a lot, but I'll tell you what, Carter's not missing any of those PK shots, and that's simply what determined this fight. Now with Shuby and Zap, maybe a resurgence here. Obviously, a fight win in this one would bode very well for the confidence, and it looks like it could be going that way. Crook in trouble. Horizon, Black Hole up on top. There is a down to Zach, though, so it's going to be up to his teammates, Shuby and Zap, to try to finish this off. Did Zach get enough for them? As we're on the wide, we do see Droppin' Gaming eliminated Zach. The perfect entry there opens the door for Shuby and Zap, quite literally.
Now look how many teams reside here. OpTic, Complexity, all trying to stay alive alongside one another. And Complexity have already lost one, but they were able to stay and get second place as a 2 before. Monsoon does a lot of damage, but takes plenty as well. And Complexity have got to be careful here.
One of the best in the business. It's up to Kimchi. And it's not going to be done.
Elsewhere, look at all the teams here on the southern side.
Yeah.
LG, 8, FaZe, Flat, they're all here fighting.
Yeah, Panders and Zeratricky again gonna have to do work. Snipe down is down already. In fact, he cannot be picked up this time, has to deliver to the banner, to the beacon. And so it just may not be enough for them to sustain fully. They want to get the KP. That's going to be one, could be a second. And now they're going to get the res. They ran into Oblivion in both senses of the word. Sweet, the only one alive. Arcology Akimbo holding down the central space. DarkZero and LG, the other two teams there. TSM has made their way to the southern side, though, Dan, too.
Elevate could annoy Oxygen here, and they will start to approach the fight, but they have got a down onto Zap.
Oh, Prowler in the hands of Shuby. That is going to start singing quite a way. The gravity from the black hole is pulling them inside, so Shuby's going to get rid of that. Sweet sees maybe there's an opportunity to get behind this team, and whenever the chaos happens, either pick off a little bit of it like a parasite or just stay unnoticed in the shadows. Sweet coming in as well as a solo. Shuby picks him off, and that is incredible awareness from Shuby. Maybe just shooting at anything that moves right now and trying to get this Phoenix kid off. Dan, top 5, can he do it? This would be massive if Shuby can get Elevate up, especially as the zone looks to be closing in on them.
I mean, I also love it from Sweet as well, by the way, taking advantage of teams looking at each other, and he said, actually, maybe I can get involved, but he will eventually fall. Shuby gets that kill, so at least some KP added. Elevate out. We're down to the 3 teams I had mentioned. DarkZero are approaching Oxygen, but it's TSM who now hold center zone here. And if DarkZero and Oxygen do damage to one another, this could be prime time for TSM as now they start to flood in.
They battled last year for the trophies. Right now, they're battling for Storm Point. It's DarkZero 3v3 against TSM. Zero hits his shots this time around. The first one to go down, though, as Verholz finds it. Big E comes up clutch yet again, but will Sykes be the difference? Oh my goodness, it is Sykes. He needs the last bullet. No, it's TSM who will take the win. And I believe that just started our split off with some fireworks.
We have our contest that we are still seeing, and it's FaZe versus Temper up at the wall.
Yeah, and it's going to be 1-to-1 at the moment as far as Nox have gone down at the start. Zeratricky's on his back. Pandas and Snipe down. Still alive, though, and taking the high ground. But can they deny this res? You can see Zeratricky's taking damage, and Temper have got the Q as well from the conduit, so they're going to be able to get some shields. And FaZe, you have to say, maybe on the back foot a little bit here. Allowing that res to come in is something you just can't afford to do if you are contesting a POI.
Spade's very low on health at the moment. Conduit Q is available, though, for Cloaked. And they all dive out. There comes the Q, but great damage. There is Eric Rona at his very best.
It's the bait, though. It's the bait. They send one player out to fly across. There was one player still on height, and that is what makes the difference. It is brilliant.
Right, now back down towards Echo, where Atheno, again, facing this fight against Drop-In Gaming, and Drop-In able to do some damage with the Mozambique.
I love the Mozambique on contest, by the way. I just feel like it's one of those guns, if you can find it, you pick it up because it does so much damage. And Drop-In Gaming look like they've had, I would say, certainly the better side of this contest in our first 3 games here on Storm Point. Elsewhere, we look at Oxygen Esports, who have been very quiet so far. They're taking on TSM, and it's not going well for them.
That's one way to put it. Oxygen Esports eliminated, 16 squads remain, and TSM will be able to hold this area, but there are other squads shooting them from a distance here, but I don't think anyone's able to close that gap for now. Sneaky, sneaky.
Oh dear. This is not going to go well for someone. However, they don't get that initial knock, but now it has to be a full send coming in here from LG. That is a brilliant ult, but it gets destroyed immediately. And now the damage isn't done, and Funk has to back up a Slayer. Importantly, vitally for LG, got that first knock, and the second will follow.
Big nades from LG there, bouncing off of the black hole and making sure the nades go in afterwards. So even if the team destroys the black hole, they would have been a little bit stationary putting those shots out onto the black hole, so they'll still be vulnerable to those grenades, and LG will be able to survive. These teams at Jurassic who are going to have to move as far possible across the map to go there.
This fight is continuing to go down, and now you're going to see with a minute or so left before the zone is a problem. The push is going to come in. You peek, I teach. Very, very simple for Chaotic. He gets taken down by the R9 of Phony.
Now they're trying to find the rest of the squad. Behind the box will be player number 2, but good crossfire that's happening at the moment just to try and cover the angles, but not good enough to help the teammate. And PLP still healthy, still well, and will get the knocks and the finishes onto those players. I do like an IGL being on Bang, by the way. It does allow for certain plays to be made that are called, as DarkZero will spot out the last member of Oblivion, and then they quickly turn around and find that solo rat that I was talking about from GKS, a secret formula also full.
Well, it's going to be Reps who gets that first knock. Elsewhere, OpTic Gaming were eliminated as well, so their slow start here on Storm Point continues. They'll be looking forward to getting off this map and getting back onto World's Edge, but TSM now make their move forward. There's a couple of teams in front of them, and they're going to have to deal with them, and Verhost zooming in and out and snapping onto those in front of him. He just ran them over.
There's now DarkZero fighting against native Rambo, taking the high ground, and Sykes and Zero are quite low here, but they are fighting back.
Sykes trying to show what he can bring to this DarkZero roster. One thing he doesn't want to bring is a grenade and a death box. Well, Zero's got enough shields back and should be able to buy enough time for Sykes to at least get back into this fight. A 2v2 still breaking out. It's Elevate versus DarkZero. The wall is going to go down here from Zach Mazer, but can they take advantage here? They got the Prowler, they got a Digi, they've got everything they need, but they decide to rotate away from this.
Because now LG are making their way uphill, as TSM have got eyes on them though, and it's not going to be fun for LG. TSM with the ultimate high ground right now, and as you said, prime position to potentially win this game. DarkVeil going down, and EA look to be potentially sending, but there's going to be other players in the area which might just ruin this push a little bit, but they're able to get the shield swaps. Now TSM have to be aware of where Elevate are going to be coming from, as DarkZero now also throwing down the Dark Veil. A nice cross for you that you love to see. Looks like an A mark.
It does indeed. One team who were eliminated though, the solo player from Ape Gang, is out, so it's a straight 3v3 between E8, DarkZero and TSM. 3 of the biggest hitters and 3 of the form teams, you would say, if you look at scrim results. But surely this is just going to open the door for a simple task for TSM, one that they cannot mess up. DarkZero eliminated as EA pushed them, damage done, and now it's just a case of walking to victory, surely for TSM. But no! The fight has turned on its head here. Shuby's still alive, but no, TSM will manage to close it out. Just for a second, you thought Elevate might be able to pull something out of the bag, but no, TSM back to back as we finish our games on Storm Point. Elsewhere, you can see the survey camp is looking a little bit ugly at the moment for 2 teams because there's some punches being thrown here. Complexity are going to be one of those teams. And of course, we have another team in front of them who's trying to take away the long-term POI here of Cole.
Lou, we know how gifted from a mechanical aspect this player is. Kimchi Lee helps support what was already a pretty well-earned fight.
Look at the kill feed now. That's what you're going to see. This lobby is going to get cut in half as everyone has to leave survey camp.
Yeah, and you know, it's exactly it. That is exactly what happened. They called survey camp. At least 5-6 teams called it. Probably more of the lobby called it, but just wasn't there. And now they're in trouble. These teams fighting for it, and this is what happens sometimes when you make a bad call. You got to work with what you got. Native Gaming don't got a lot. Bangalore ult beside them, double time passive. An X for Clane, 30% more movement speed. Piercing spikes, 1 of 2 down for Rambo. His return back into the ALGS, at least for now, is going to pay off as Mamba fires a spray and gets hit with a black hole. Not enough to kill, a grenade to follow, and that is it. Rambo trying to make himself out, but it's going to be Oxygen who cleaned this one up. There's no way they're getting through the trio, Aiden, Reeds, and Vayne on that one. This is exactly how you want to use a Rampart, to hold space and to dominate from it.
Well, TSM will be eliminated. It's not back-to-back-to-back for them. They cannot recreate what they did at Champs. DNO are also going to be eliminated. That long-standing battle that we saw with OpTic Gaming comes to an end. But Ape Gang up on this high ground. They've held this for so long. And like you mentioned, with Rampart in the composition, those walls allow them to do exactly that. They will have to move as well.
So let's listen into LG and see if they can take the win.
Give me another wall. Help me. Get up. Hey. They're right above me. I'm hitting fletch. Kill them. On me. I clipped one. Kill him. Should we climb? Yes, fine. Last one. Oh, man. Wait, you didn't kill him? No, I just shot my on the gym. When I'm saying kill them, why are you asking me to climb?
Certainly couldn't do it, Mark, but that doesn't mean they didn't give it a try. It's chaos here as the zone starts to push in.
And it's E8 who seem to be winning this fight, right? Knocked his last player alive for OpTic, but E8 who were inside that building for so long, delayed long enough for LG to have to make their move first. They come in and clean up this side of the zone. Elevate, DarkZero, and FaZe, who made that decision to not contest hard over at Geyser. They left wanting to play the long game, and that decision has paid off.
And DarkZero have just had the best spot the entire time near these train tracks. They can play height. They have cover with these boxes and the mountains from above. And they also, right now, have a Bloodhound ultimate. We're going to see how this works out. Doesn't look like they're going to be missing much. Elevate, however, they're going to be missing all of their members, as that is an easy wipe. It's going to be a FaZe and DarkZero 3v3, Mark.
Yeah, damage been done as well here by FaZe. You can see the Zero's taking an off angle though, but can he survive? No, he can't. It's going to be FaZe who get that first knock, but Sykes is going to answer back. Sykes, the new pickup, looking once again to prove he is the man to take DarkZero back to glory. A second one for him as well. He wants the three-piece and he's going to get it. DarkZero will be your champions here, and Sykes showing exactly why Zero and Jem Burton put their trust in him. Oh, I tell you what, if you watch Monsoon stream a little bit of ranked, you'll know that he loves the Sentinel. And he ain't going to miss too many shots with it. He's got an R9 as well, but he's got to be careful because that door is causing problems. He's going to be forced to queue, but he's not going to connect. And he's not going to be able to get his teammates queued now, as he's had to use it somewhat selfishly for himself. Can't quite connect this time, but the R99 is pretty good. Lou gets the first knock as well onto Carter, and now that allows Mon to re-peek. And if he can re-peek with this and hit some shots, then it's going to be a highlight clip for sure.
Re-peek, reposition, and connects.
I'm pretty sure that was a Kraber shot out of nowhere. And now TSM, well, they're in a little bit of shambles.
Yeah, this isn't going to be easy for them. They might be able to get Hal back up if the team in Monument doesn't push, and that Thermite might be able to help out. And unfortunately, power goes down. And TSM down to just a 2 now.
But Oxygen Esports, who, speaking of fraggers, are 3 of the best. And they're having to force their way through the tunnel at the moment, and Reeds is going to be taken off that head glitch.
Well, actually, I think they're holding out this team in the tunnel, so it's working out okay for them. You just have to sit back, wait for the other team, and press their advantage if it comes up. Black Hole will go down, but 30 damage, 15, 30. Oh, it's good ticks with the Volt to make sure the Sleepy Panda goes down. The rest of the team supporting Vayne there to get the initial knock.
Sleepy Panda, take a nap. As that first knock is not going to be capitalized on as yet. As we see now the swing coming in. The shots from Reeds again are going to be pretty good. And surely this is going to be a clean wipe. No one should really be thinking about going down here for Oxygen. And that's exactly the case. A great team fight from them. They hold out perfectly. GKS will be eliminated. It's our second squad to go down.
Now we're down to just 10, but it looks like LG, even though they pushed that one, they're now being griefed by another squad.
Very sweet, though. He's on his back for now. It looks like they're going to be trying to move into a position, but dropping down might have been the worst decision, as now you'll find a team walking around that corner is going to take them down, and it's DarkZero, who, again, picked the perfect moment to pounce on a team who was weak, who looked vulnerable, and LG will find themselves the most vulnerable as they will hit the death box. Oh, but look at Native. They are holding down the angles, and DarkZero, as great as you are, it's very unlikely you win this unless your name is Sykes and you're playing Conduit. He is destroying them and forcing DarkZero into this zone.
Somehow DarkZero still alive here and forcing Native back and making it work. And Sykes, you know, there's a lot of pressure on this young man's shoulders being added to this roster, but boy, is he living up to expectations. They may well go down here, DarkZero, but they've been able to stay alive to get those extra placement points at the very least, as Sykes still just about surviving. Now, OpTic Gaming looking to try and press in, looking to try and find more success. Let's jump into a listen-in and seeing how the green wall's going down.
Climbing up here.
Breaking it. They're on the wall.
Yeah.
Batting.
It's last guy.
All that. Play slow. You should maybe wall this. Maybe wall the right side.
Wait. There's a bingle.
Yeah. Climb up and wall the right side. I think we have all the right. Yes. They're both left.
Okay, I'm going right. I'm going right.
You have all the space. I think towards all of them.
Nades.
I'm safe on me.
I'm getting back here.
Safe on me.
Yeah, safe on me, safe on me, safe on me.
Popping a cell.
Just play.
Hold here. There's second floor. 120 on a conduit, I think.
I'm safe on crate.
I'm playing on you, I'm playing on you. Our wall's about to go down soon.
They have to drop into each other. 78 on top guy. They walled. Don't let these get right side. Oh, we can't.
Yeah.
They just have to drop into each other. I'm telling.
I might just where's the other team? Okay, they're on the height.
They're fighting. Queuing up.
Up.
Yeah, they're there.
150 dead.
On our right, on our close right, careful.
Yeah, careful.
Horizon's one, they're both one.
Okay.
On you guys.
Last guy's one.
Get second.
We got second.
Okay. Nice. Bro, they had to ape us, man.
Yeah.
Flat will be the champions of the penultimate game here. OpTic gets some good points on the board, but it's Flat who are holding down a really strong position for the majority of that game down, who do get their first win of the day. Yeah, interested to see what the play is here for a few of these teams. Skirt's still being chased, by the way. This has been a little bit difficult for them. They finally will have their game ended. It felt like they were kind of just being chased or stuck between a couple of teams a few times, and they weren't able to make too much work. That DarkZero was going to be perfect, though, to stop the push coming in from Oxygen. They do want to push, by the way. There's a Sky Nade for them, a little present with their name on it.
This should just be a matter of wrapping it up and hoping no one pushes. But actually, I'm seeing on the map overhead, Eternal have used this as an opportunity just to pass by these teams and maybe taking DarkZero's position. So DarkZero, with their aggression, have now lost their spot on this choke, and Eternal are about to bring the fight to them.
Yeah, but look at the wingman. The wingman's been picked up, and I know it might seem like it's not too much because now the positions have been swapped around, but one headshot with that wingman's going to hit for 95, and trust me, it hurts. So one wingman is enough to take down two players, you feel, in some of the DarkZero players' hands. Eternal got to back off for now as they try and retreat. OpTic down to 2. DarkZero taking on Eternal once more. Zero's taking a huge amount of damage, and so is Jim Burton as well. Look at Jim Burton down to the definition of 1 HP, but somehow Jim Burton gets the first knock. I mean, it's just what he does, right? He's 1 HP, he turns around, he hits the dirty 30 shot, and that's what I talked about. The opening damage is massive in fights, and now Jen can move in. He will go down, but Eternal will be finished off, and it's Sykes. Surprise, surprise, who moves in to clean up some of that. But look at that kill feed. Drop-in gone, Flat gone, Complexity gone as well, and TSM are safe.
You can see the circle is pulling ever so slightly closer towards the likes of Oblivion and LG, but everything can change if you send it a little bit too soon, if you start to get focused. And actually Oblivion, they moved in. They said, actually, we don't feel safe here. They try and dive on Oxygen, and because of that, they've taken too much damage. Reeds is still alive. LG capitalize on it as well, and Oblivion have lost the majority of their team, if not all of it at this point. It looks like they've gone down.
Oxygen Esports have been eliminated. In the meantime, the solo has gone down, and TSM were able to wait just a few moments later than their opponents, and now they're going to take on FaZe. And look at Verholz go. So much damage coming in. Pandas will fall. That will be FaZe wiped, and not only are FaZe wiped, this is the opportunity for loot that TSM have been desperate for so long.
I think FaZe still have 1 alive, but certainly the damage has been done. You can see Zero's just about surviving as a rat and trying to take FaZe into the top 3, but LG might spot him out soon as TSM go up into the skies, but will not dive down just yet. Don't worry, Mark, I didn't say it. I did consider it, though, as MK Reps goes down, but Verholz sends himself in. 8 gang eliminated, 3 squads left.
Can they hold off the push, though? That's the question. Imperial How is left on his own. 8 gang down. FaZe eliminated. And it will be LG in the final game who introduced themselves to the Apex Legends Global Series.